Aloha, beautiful Love Your Life show friends, and welcome. Today I have Bill Scott with me on this lovely, lovely day just before Christmas. Woo-hoo-hoo. And Bill Scott is also known as Sparkle Bill because he brings sparkles and he sparks and ignites people in their wholeness and knowing of who they are. And obviously today we're going to be speaking about letting go of your crap, because he's let go of his crap, that's for sure, and stepping into the divinity of your heart. Yay! So, hi, Bill. Welcome.
Yeah. Hi, Bev. Thank you for having me. I'm really excited about what we're going to go through tonight.
Awesome, awesome. And it looks like we have some friends joining the room. So if you've joined the room, please feel free to say, hi, I'm in the room, I'm playing with you. And you don't have to be shy. I can't see everyone's names. Otherwise, I'd be calling you out already. But if you can just type in the chat there, that'll be fantastic. And then if you have any questions for Bill, please feel free, ask away. And he's more than happy to answer for you as well. So, yes, I would like to read this little story that I got from Bill, which made me giggle in some of the spaces because he's got such a very interesting and funny way of putting things in, not a funny way, but in like a ha-ha, really like light, comical way. So I'd like to share this with you. And Bill calls this his story, his story of how he got to where he is. So it starts, I couldn't be me. I was born into a military family, soaked with lots of suppression and control. None of my emotions were acceptable. And I'm sure many men have had this experience before, where, you get boxed into a certain kind of way that you need to be. Until I was left feeling like a zombie, emotionally flat. Nothing affected me. Good things happened and I had no reaction. I was still. Bad things happened and I had no reaction. This caused people to step out of my life. I didn't like being that zombie me. I finally found a girl I wanted to spend my life with. I was so happy and I loved her the best way I knew how. One very bad day, I just set off the last dollar I had to pay the bills and I was wondering what I would do for that month. The phone rang. She had called to say she needed her freedom. I had to let her go. I hated that phone. I crashed and burned. All I had were the broken shards of my heart. All the not good enough. What's wrong with me? Why am I all alone? And I know many people, I'm just saying this as Beverly here, stepping outside of the story. A lot of people have felt that, not good enough. What's wrong with me? Why I'm all alone? Why am I all alone? And I'm going to go into this with Bill just in a little bit of where he was at. I stayed in that place for a very long time. Then something happened. Something I have no idea who or how dragged me out of there. And I needed two things. Now, this one is a cute one. Kitty people and something. I didn't know what it was, so I started searching. Now, I had a giggle when I heard kitty people because I also love kitty people. They're my favorite kind of people. And I'm sure they're your favorite kind of people. Hey, Sparkle Bill?
Oh, definitely.
Okay, back to the story. I heard about telesummits, conference calls where various spiritual teachers present their methods. I signed up for as many as I could find. I listened to them all. Some of the teachers I liked, some I didn't. I found myself drawn to energy work. I learned to feel it. It felt really good. I found a teacher that really resonated with my heart. She showed me how to open up and release the old stuff that I'd held onto so long. All those limitations, suppressions, and controls no longer held me down. Now I had the spark of divine energy growing in my heart, blooming like a rose. As I let go more and more of my old crap, literally, the spark kept growing stronger, and I actually became a happy man. Today, these divine energies flow through me constantly. I feel great. I'm filled with love and joy all the time. I now do this for other people. Just like me, we've all been taught to not feel the divine within us. I have processes that will help you to release your old stuff and open yourself up to the divine energies that flow through you. I would love to give this gift to you. And thank you, Bill, for being such a gift for us today and being here on the show with us as well and sharing all of your amazing sparkles of gifts of love and divinity. Yay!
Yeah. The idea of sharing and teaching other people how to come from where I was in that deep, dark hole into the light and to feel all this energy flowing through. That was such a gift for me that I really feel strongly compelled to share it with others and let them bring up this wonderful energy to get rid of the stuff that holds them back and holds them down and keeps them small, so that they can live a joy-filled life of their own, connected to spirit. And now my world is full of sparkles. It really is. Everything has sparkles in it.
That's amazing. That's amazing. And you know what I love, Bill, about you is, you know, I've been on this spiritual journey for quite a while, and a lot of the community is mostly women. It's like 80% women and like only really 20% men. And it's so wonderful that you are here standing as a man and holding this, you know, this spark as saying, you know, it's not just women that can do this, it's men as well. And we're also able to have this joy. We don't have to be non-feeling beings.
Right. I grew up as one of those men, like so many of the rest of us men. Everything has to be contained and none of it can show on the outside. And that really hurts. And you get stuff, you can't let it out, you can't release it, so it stays in there and festers. And that's what brings us to those dark places. Being able to let that energy out and release it back to source takes it out of us and sends it out of the world so that nobody else is picking that up. But in us, we get to breathe, we get to move, we get to feel those emotions and express them. You're right. I've been to many events where there's 60 women and 3 guys. And I'm one of them.
You're like, yeah, body fist. We are surrounded by all
well,
this.
Okay. But the men need to have someone who can show them, yes, it's okay to feel this and to let this energy out. And that's part of what I'm here for. Because it is important. I was in such a dark place. I pushed all of the people out of my life because it felt like they were just there to hurt me. And many people out there know that some guy in the office who just as soon bite your head off as say hello. I was that guy. It's a very hard and lonely way to live. And when I crashed and burned, there was nothing there inside me except that pain. And then when I found a way to let it go, the whole world opened up. And as the energy that flows through me grew and grew, the world became a beautiful, wonderful place to be in. And I am driven to give that gift to other people. That's why I'm here. And I had to go through all that crap so that I could feel that and feel what I have now and be able to resonate with the people who are stuck where I used to be, to bring them into the light and let them have this wonderful kind of, it's a whole new existence. It's so amazing.
And so what was, I mean, you've obviously got some tools and things that you use with the people that you work with at the moment. What are some of the things that you suggest? So for example, we've got some people on the line, on the call now, on the webinar and on the audio as well. that are kind of in that pain place, or getting into that pain place, or awakening and discovering that they have all of this pain, what is one of the things that you can say is a good place to start, or a tool or something that they could use to be able to help to heal that?
Well, the thing where I started, I was so blessed to find this, was to feel what it feels like when you love someone, like the Kitty people, or a person, or some place. Feel that in your heart. That little spark. The more you feel it, grows inside you and expands and fills you. And it takes a little bit of practice. I have a free gift, if I can share the URL for that.
Yes, definitely.
sparklebill.com/free gift.
Okay.
If you opt into my email list, you'll get a video where I talk about that, and a guided meditation where I take you through how that feels and let it expand.
Mm-hmm.
It really is a wonderful process. And I wanted to feel that so much that I got out my tablet, because I didn't have a phone, and I set alarms in it to remind me. Are you feeling like you're in love? Nope. Okay. Breathe. Feel that. And then go back to what I was doing. And I'd set 7 or 8 alarms every day. And after like 2 or 3 weeks, I found out, yeah, I am still feeling that. And another couple of weeks, more often than not, I was still feeling that. And I did a number of meditations, asking Mother Earth and the universe to bring that love energy through me so I could share it with everybody and everything around me. And that just allowed the energy flowing through me to grow and grow and grow. And then I was feeling it all the time. And then I learned about the Life Transformed coaching program, where we were given tools to go in to all those old places in us where we learned how to be very small and contained, where we learned it's not okay to express your emotions, and either remove that or rewrite it so that it no longer keeps me small, it no longer keeps me contained or tiny. And so I am a Life Transform coach, and am opening my practice to new clients so that I can give them this gift, and I can let them free of these blocks, these energies that we hold within us, so that they can have this beautiful, amazing energy that flows through me. It really is wonderful. It feels so good. It's like the world is black and white, and then somebody introduces you to colors. And there's so much more than you ever realized. And that's the gift I'm here to bring to other people, so that we can change this world into a beautiful, wonderful place. And I'm looking forward to starting some group coaching processes, or group coaching groups, And later on in March, I'm planning on teaching a class in how this stuff works so that the people in the class can learn these techniques and use them themselves.
And what is your class what is your class called? Is it going to be in March? Yes, is that?
Yes, late March in Denver. We're looking at, I believe it's the 23rd to get started. It's a 4-day class. It's Rika Zimmerman's Life Transformed Level 1 and 2. So all of the tools will be available to all of the people that choose to attend. And I'm really excited about giving this to people. And I'll be co-teaching it with another of the Life Transform coaches, Heather Gunther, who is amazing. She works with horses to help people. There's so much magic in what she does. And then she also has all the information for our heads to explain how this works so that our heads aren't standing in the way of the beautiful energy that's radiating from our hearts.
Awesome. So it's like so you're doing more of the emotional, like, play side, and she's doing more of the mental. So it's a nice co-creation thing that you guys are creating there together.
Yeah, we're going to teach different pieces of the course, and where there's a need for the heart-based answer, I'll be able to do that. Where there's more of a head-based answer, she'll be able to fill in a lot of those blanks. And that's not to say that she's not coming from a heart space. She is. But we'll be able to reach everybody in the audience at the level that they're at so that we can bring them up into this new wonderful place where they can live.
That is so exciting. That's really, really exciting, Bill. And so for anyone that's watching or listening right now, I'd like to find out, like, with regards to, like, how you work with people. Do you work with people one-on-one as well, or is it only, because I know, one of the things you're mentioning is that it's very much a process of practice. So you can, it's like we've all been taught, it's just from our programming being taught that, life is hard, you'll never be rich, you're not good enough, you've got to struggle for money, you've got to struggle for life, you'll always be alone. Like, there's so many belief systems that we get programmed with from a very young age. And basically, it's learning how to teach ourselves differently. So we're so used to those emotions that they become normal. And what you're suggesting is to actually practice, because you did practice on a consistent basis to feel into your heart and actually put an alarm on your phone so that you could practice feeling the love. Yeah. In a practical, so what I'm trying to show here is that you've had a practical process yourself. It was like anyone can achieve this. It's not just like, oh, I am the Buddha who's been graced, or Jesus, or whatever, that has been graced with this enlightenment experience, and I awakened suddenly one day. Although that does sometimes happen, it's more of consistent actually doing something. It can be learned.
Yeah. When I was younger, I was taught that the head, the intellect, the reason was the way to make yourself out in the world. And when I was that young, Star Trek was brand new. And there was this guy on there called Mr. Spock, the ultimate in logic and emotion free. He became the model for what I wanted to be. Well, you know what? That doesn't work in this world.
Mm-hmm.
And we pretend that it does. And that's why everybody is busy running around trying to get their piece of the pie,
Mhm.
um, scrabbling for what's left. And in their head is the message, well, you're not good enough for that. There isn't enough to go around. You have to work hard to make the money so that you can buy the things that you need. All these little stories, and they're strongly reinforced by everybody else telling you the same thing. And the energy of the people around us is telling us, yes, you have to work hard or you can't have any money. You have to have money so that you can have a place to live, so that you can have food on the table, clothes to wear. Well, they did set it up so that you need the money, but you don't have to work really hard for it. If you find something that you love doing, it's not really work, is it? And I do love doing this coaching. I do work with people one-on-one, and then we can go in deep down into the root core of their issues and release that energy and replace it with love. And the things that our heads and our habits were keeping us confined and contained that were based on that no longer seem to work, which allows us to breathe and you do the next thing and the next thing. And that sets you free. You can feel the energy building within you with each release. And so part of my mission is to find those people who are ready to get rid of all of that programming and conditioning that keeps them small and contained, remove that programming and conditioning so that they can be who they are. And that's very important to me. If you have a block about money, I'm not allowed to earn more money than my parents earned. Guess what's going to happen in your life? You're going to get a job and it's going to pay just about what they did. And if you get a promotion, something will come along to mess that up and you won't be getting that additional money. Because we're told, well, you shouldn't be bigger than your parents. But our parents are trying in the best way they know how, with all that conditioning steeped in, to set us up so that we can be better than they are. We can have a more wonderful life. We can have the things that they were unable to provide. When you take those blocks out and throw them away, then you get to grow. You get to have the things, and your parents get to see you having them and succeeding in the way that they had hoped. So that is one example of how these programs and conditions hold us back. When I fell in love, I had no idea what that was. So, I mean, I'm trying to feel my way into it and not make the girl I was in love with mad at me or feel like she wasn't loved or any of that. And in the end, it didn't work because it wasn't what she was looking for.
And also, don't you also feel that you were only able to give or receive as much love with her as what you were able to give or receive to yourself? So like you weren't in a space of loving yourself enough, and you were like, okay, well, I only deserve so much. So, you know, when she was wanting more than that, or choosing something more than that, you only had a certain capacity because you were like a robot.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So yes, and we're programmed that love is a exchange. Here, have some love. Okay, now you can give some to me. And I'll give you some more, and you can give me some more, and it goes back and forth. Well, that's not the way the universe set this up. We get to be all of the love of the universe in ourselves. And when we take that into ourselves and allow it to be a self-love, there are no limits to how much love we can give to the people around us. I often tell each of my kitties that I love them with all of my heart. And it's true. They are such beautiful beings that came here to take care of me when I asked the universe. And they are just these little warm fuzzballs. They're so adorable. But when I go out into the world, there's people there, and I can be love and allow that to just radiate out from me. And there are people out there who will accept it, and you can see their faces light up, and they stand up straighter, and they're happier. And there are some people that say no and will avoid it. For them, I like to plant a seed, a little nodule of energy, love, that will be there waiting for when they're ready to accept it. When I travel, I have to move my body. That's part of my self-love. My body loves to move. So I'm walking up and down the concourse, just being love and watching faces light up here and there. There was one lady, her no was so strong that she had actually just walked past a pillar that holds up the next level, and she spun around to look at this pillar. And so I gave her a seed, and it will be there for when she is ready to accept it. And that way, I'm not going, oh, I'm sorry, you're not able to accept this love. Because if I did that, that would lock her into place.
Now that is very key there, because, you know, there's sometimes, and I know that I've done this, where I know that I look at it, and from my awareness, I see someone and I go, you know, they don't have enough love for themselves, or they don't have enough, or they wouldn't receive this. And it's actually perfect what you're saying there, because who are we to judge whether someone will receive it or not, and when they will receive it or not? We're only there to be the gift of offering it and saying, here it is. You know, for example, with this show, I mean, I don't know if there's going to be people that are going to be on the show. I don't know if people are going to watch it or not watch it, or how it's going to come across. It's not my job. My job is not to try and force people on or not force people on, or say that people will want it or won't want it or whatever. There's nothing that we need to do about that. All that we do is show up and be here and share what is coming through in the moment. And whoever is requiring that will have it at the perfect time, whenever it's meant to be for them.
Yes. So I plant a seed, and they're not ready to receive that energy right now. But along their path, somewhere, they will be. And that seed will be waiting for them. And that fills me with joy. Because each of us is on our own path. Some of us are zipping along. Some of us are just taking it one step at a time. But when we get to that point where we're ready to say yes to receiving that energy, I've planted seeds everywhere. And they're there for you. And that knowledge that eventually you'll be ready to receive it and it will be there waiting for you brings me more joy, fills me with delight, and sometimes tears to my eyes.
It's a bit of a bright, blinding spark rather than just a little boop, right?
It can be. I plant zillions of seeds all the time.
And we could even call them little, instead of just calling them seeds, they could be sparks. So it's like planting sparks everywhere, right?
Yeah. For me, plant metaphors like the seed and taking root and feeling the energy grow and bloom within me really work well. So I call them seeds. And each one, as they open, then they begin to sparkle as well. So when someone like the lady who found the pillar very interesting, her path is into that dark area where I used to be. It hasn't yet gone around the bend into opening up. But when it does, there's a seed of love waiting for her.
And you know what I also love about you speaking about the darkness and going around the bend? Isn't that also like a metaphor for when you plant a seed? You plant a seed in darkness in the earth, right? And the roots grow and they go around rocks and they go around all these things. So, you actually, it's kind of like a plant metaphor as well, as we go through the darkness until the point where we actually can, get our stem and our leaves coming up through the soil to open up to the sunshine.
Yeah, and that's why it works so well for me. Your seed starts growing, and there's a lot of root, and there's obstacles for it to go through, and then it tries to send up that shoot into. It doesn't know how far. It doesn't know what's up there. It just knows that it needs to send it up, and then it reaches the light, and that light provides nourishment and warmth, and I don't know what all else in plants it provides, but then the plant grows and grows, and the roots get stronger, and they go around more obstacles. The plant grows, and eventually it blooms. I love the way Mother Nature decorates with all the beautiful flowers and the trees and the mountains and the rivers. And as a scuba diver, I got to go under the oceans to see what she grows down there. And they are gorgeous in every place that I went. These amazing creatures are living. And when I send them love, they're all like, yeah, I'll have that. And that just fills me up. It's people and their programming that are the naysayers.
And that's the thing that you're saying, the programming and the naysayers. I think that's I think that some of us kind of get programmed by the programming, and we have been the naysayers, and then when we wake up, we're like, "Ooh, okay, I was a naysayer because I had all that stuff." And now when you can look at other people, like with the naysayer thing, I've realized as well, like having compassion for the naysayers even, like.
They're just not ready to say yes yet, but they will be. And with all that programming that they're steeped in, it's very hard for them to say yes. When we do the processes for Life Transformed, we can go in and basically take that program and pull it out by the roots. So it's not there anymore. And everything that's been built on top of that crumbles away. So that lets the light in, like an old tree in a forest falling, opens up a space so the light can come in and all the little seedlings can grow. And that's what I like to do for people. It brings me such joy when they let go, when we pull that root out and send it back to source, so that they feel what I feel and can allow that to grow within them. And that's what I'm after. If I could touch your heart and pull out one of those weeds, well, then there's room for something beautiful to grow. And if I can touch and pull out a bunch of those weeds, then we can have an entire garden full of beauty. And that would be you.
Oh, I love that. I love that. Yes. We must learn to nurture our spiritual garden, right?
Mm-hmm. And I do a number of, I never did manage to meditate without my head being in it. So I tricked it. And I said, all right, you lead us in a guided meditation. And I have some recordings that will be posted on my website shortly.
Amazing.
Of those guided meditations. So that I can share what I've done and kind of get people, I'm hoping, into the habit of meditating one way or another. And one night, I was sitting, getting ready for my meditations, and it came to me that I really need to thank my beautiful, amazing body for all the wonderful things that it does for me, even after all the mistreatment that I've given it. And so I started talking to it. Hello, my beautiful body. I love you. And I apologized for all of the mistreatment that I had given it. And I told it, I'm going to do my best not to mistreat you anymore. Well, I'm human. I can't say I won't ever do it again. And the body knows that. So by promising to do my best, yeah, I still stub my toes now and then. But, and then I asked it to forgive me. And there was such a wonderful rush of energy through me. Our bodies do try to talk to us. But we don't speak the same language.
Mm-hmm.
So I asked it to help me find a way to talk with it. The with this wonderful rush of energy was one of those signs of how it says yes, yes, yes.
Mm-hmm.
And so now I start my meditations by spending a few minutes checking in with my body, seeing if there's anything that it needs, sending it love, taking care of it, and thanking it for being such a wonderful partner. And really, a lot of the times, all our bodies really want is some acknowledgement. One night, I was driving home from work. I'm in zombie mode. And I heard very clearly in my head, lima beans. And so I stopped off at the grocery store and I went to go get some lima beans. And I took them home and I cooked them and I ate them. I like lima beans. My body apparently likes lima beans as well. But that was not the usual kind of communication that we have. I'll go to the grocery store and I'll say, hey, buddy, this looks good. Do you want it? And then I'll feel the energy in my body. And if that energy rises up a little bit, that's a yes. If it dips down, that's a no.
I love that. That's a great way to communicate with your body, because I know some people do muscle testing, when they test their muscles for a yes or a no. But I mean, I kind of can resonate with what you're saying there, because although sometimes with the muscle testing, to me, it feels like I'm still in my head. Whereas if I just feel, I don't even think I mentally decide. My body just goes for it. My body just actually moves forward. It just goes, give me that. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. I've gone to the grocery store and I'm walking up there and I'm like, okay. And I turn over to the other aisle and I reach for something. I was like, okay, you want that. Or sometimes you never walk into the kitchen. I want something to eat, but I don't know what.
Open the fridge.
Happens to me. So I'll close my eyes and I will grab something. Because my body knows where those things are. It's seen them there. I usually keep everything in the same place. And that way my head is not directing what I'm reaching for. My body is taking care of that. And so, oh, you want the mandarin oranges? Great, I like mandarin oranges. Or whatever. So that I can give it what it wants. And that is important to me. And I start my meditations by loving my body and seeing if there's anything that it wants and trying to feel into an answer. And we're getting better at communicating, not really in words, but sometimes there will be an odor or a flavor or a texture. And I can then take that and go, oh, you want this? Okay, well, I'll get you that. And I'll go to the kitchen and it won't be in the refrigerator or whatever. And I was like, oh, we're going to have to wait till tomorrow. And I can go to the store. But finding ways like that to communicate with our bodies, with the other energies around us, is important. And the more sensitive you become to the energies, the easier it is to understand the message. And it rarely comes in words.
And I love what you just said there. The more sensitive you become, because sometimes we start with zero sensitivity, where we're like, I don't feel anything. And even feeling nothing is feeling something.
Well, and a lot of times that's our head hiding what we're feeling. Okay? When you're just starting on this journey and are not used to working in the energies, where do you live? Here, in your head. And who do you believe? Thoughts running through my head. They're mine, right? Well, no, most of the time they're not. They're the thoughts that everybody else is thinking.
Yep.
Oh, there's this terrible thing going on. I have to be sad, and so I'm feeling sad. Well, this isn't, and we're taught that when we feel these energies that make us sad, everybody is supposed to be sad when Uncle Phil dies and it's time for the funeral. Well, maybe. I mean, sometimes Uncle Phil had a really sudden demise, and then we can be sad that he's not with us. But then look at Uncle Phil's life. Was he filled with joy? Did he have
He was
love?
filled. Uncle Phil was filled with joy.
Yeah.
I just had to say that. That was just the perfect one there. I could have missed that one.
Yeah. But then we're taught you're supposed to stand there and be sad. And I'm going to miss Uncle Phil, but he's not really gone. His energy is still living in our hearts. And we can, with a little practice, open ourselves up and talk to Uncle Phil. When you're first starting out, more often than not, we're like, I don't feel anything. Or I feel something, I don't know what it is. I did a lot of that. And then you start releasing these programs of what you're supposed to do, how you're supposed to feel, taking the energies around us and making them our own. You don't need to do that. We can release that programming, and then we can feel what's really there. And there is so much love and joy when you allow that to flow through you, that you have tons to share with the people around you. If you listen to your head, that's never going to work. So you take your head and move it down into your heart, so that I actually gave my head the job of translating what I'm feeling in my heart into words. And when I'm working with another person, we connect heart to heart. And with that connection comes the information of what they're going through, about the thing that we're releasing. And I have no idea what I'm going to say. But through that heart connection, I know what they need to hear. And my head, with the job of translating that into words, says the weirdest thing. Stuff that I personally would never say. And then we proceed with the work, and the releases are always spectacular. Oh, they fill me so much. And afterwards, you kind of chat. And more often than not, after I've said something completely, where did that come from? I hear, and when you said that thing, that was the thing that unlocked it all and let it all go. And I'm like, okay. So letting my heart do the talking, as opposed to letting my head do the talking, gives my clients what they need.
I love that.
And that is a really wonderful place to be.
I love that. 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 And I want to just do a quick shout out, because we do have some people that have actually called in with us today. But I don't have your name. So if there's people in the chat that have any questions for Bill, please feel free to do that. And also just say hi. We have another few more minutes. If you wanted to get a question answered quickly, you could. But it would be also nice to know if you're here, who's here. Just by saying hi, it's me. There's a little chat on the right-hand side of the screen should be. It'd be lovely to hear and see who's in the room with us. So that's cool. Yes. And Bill, I really, really love that. I love that whole thing about listening to what your body has to say and getting out of your head and responding with what your heart is saying, you know, like that's, I mean, I love the way that you so eloquently just, you know, gently bring us along into knowing how this works. And it's such a gentle, kind, caring space. It's not like a rushed, go, 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 achieve, 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 get the job done, get results kind of energy.
Yeah. You can go through this as fast or as slow as you're ready for. Or as fast as slow as you will allow yourself to. For me, in my experience, when I finally found the right teacher, I shed stuff wholesale. I did not want my old life. And I just was ready to get a big old bulldozer and just push it off a cliff. Other people, they have their pet things and they hold on to them so tight. And you can try to work with them, and if they're not ready to let it go, basically you just blow the dust off it. There is some relief.
There is some relief.
Is ready to be let go. The opening in them is huge.
Mm-hmm.
It is so full of joy and so full of love. And to be a part of giving them that just makes my body isn't big enough for my heart. It just swells up so much.
I love that. And we've got Sherry, who's actually just given us a little comment here. She said, hi, I came in late. Love the bit about listening to the heart and forgetting being too much isn't being, okay. Love the bit about listening to the heart and forgetting being too much in the head. She said, so simple. She really needed to hear that. And yes, it is. It's very simple. It's very perfect. It's perfectly put. The exact way that you put it. It's very simple. It's like, you know, being in your heart is a very simple thing. And the way to get there is to stop listening to this thing and instead feel into this thing. It's a different kind of, it's like a new skill. Yeah, it's actually like a new skill.
It's just like learning to feel the energy. Where I did set alarms every day to remind myself to be in the energy. You can practice making sure that your mind, your head, whatever you want to call it, is in your heart, so that the things are coming from your heart and not the old programs that we received when we were growing up. And that actually sets us up going, you know, this program, I don't like that. I don't know how to get rid of it, but I want it to be let go. And I can show you how to do the getting rid of it and doing the letting go in a permanent way.
Yeah, let go of your crap and ignite the spark within your heart.
Let go of your crap. And I have a very large bulldozer. We can push it right off the cliff.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. So we have about 2 more minutes on the clock here for us. And I just wanted to confirm with you with that. You do have a free little gift that you're offering for anyone. It's www.billscott. Is that right? Or Sparkle Bill. Sparkle Bill. I'm going to actually type that in the chat here. So it's http
www.sparklebill.com/free gift.
One word, free gift? One word? One word. Okay, there we go. Sparkable.com /
I wanted to try to make it easy to remember.
Pretty easy. And then what they have there is a little bit of a teaching from you. And Sherry is saying ha 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 because we're giggling on this call right now. And thank you, Sherry, for sharing with us. It's really wonderful to have you. And so they can receive
thank you, Sherry.
that little teaching from you and also meditation, I understand.
Yeah, it's a little video that kind of tells you where I was coming from, and then a guided meditation for opening yourself up to feel the love that's already in your heart. And we've been programmed not to feel that. And then once we're feeling that, allowing that to grow and grow and grow and radiate out from us so that it doesn't get any smaller. We don't go back into that little shell. Okay, I have a little spark, and I'm going to keep it safe for me, and nobody else can touch it. What you really want to do is open yourself up and have, for me, it's a mighty river of love flowing through my heart out into the world. And it's a river. It's unstoppable. You put up a wall, it will go around, over, under, whatever. And that way, that love enters the world through me. It feels really good while it's doing that. And there are those people who are ready to receive a little bit of love. And you can see them around you sometimes as they like pop up a little bit and smile. And for those who are not willing to receive it, I just plant a seed so that it will be there when they are. And that unlocks them from the unwilling to receive, knowing that there will be a point where they are willing.
I love it.
And then when they are, it'll be waiting for them.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Well, thank you very, very, very much, Bill. It's been an absolute pleasure to have you here on the Love Your Life show. I'm glad for everyone who joined us.
It's been a delight.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Yes, it was wonderful. And I really, really enjoyed hearing about like your version of how you came to find the love that you are and how you came into being more of who you are in your story. You know, obviously the Love Your Life show is all about these inspiring love stories of, you know, people who were normal people living in a normal world and discovered actually that I'm not so normal, I'm actually extraordinary. I'm not ordinary, I'm actually extraordinary. And discovering the God that you are and the spark that you are, the spark of love that you are, that you were able to expand that and be more of that and allow other people to see that spark so brightly that they couldn't help but recognize the spark within themselves. And your giving of all your seeds of love that you just so easily just, you know, sow all over the planet with all your traveling. I really appreciate having you here with us, sharing your sparkleness with us today.
I love sharing my sparkle. And this is a beautiful way to do that. And I'm so delighted to be here. And when I get to travel to other places, I take all that I'm doing. It hardly seems like a doing anymore. Just letting that river of love flow out of me to everyone around.
Love it.
It's so delightful.
We have Robert. I don't know if you just saw there. Sorry, Bill, I'm just interrupting you there. But Robert, hey, Bill, really loved hearing more of your story. It really resonates on my level. So thank you, Robert. That's very kind of you. And wonderful. Obviously, if you'd like to contact Bill, I don't know if you know Robert, Bill, but if you'd like to contact Bill and have a chat with him, obviously sparkable.com. You have a contact form on your website, Bill?
Yes, we do. Is that finished yet? It's not finished yet. But you can email me at yeah, you can email me at sparklebill. Okay, the email address is sparklebill@sparklebill.com.
Sparklebill at that's a pretty good email. That's a pretty good email. Sparklebill at sparklebill.com. Amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Bill.
It's a little bit on the long side, but it's really fun.
Yes.
So the website is under construction. We've got the free gift page up there and a few other things, and the rest of it will follow in the next couple of weeks.
I love it. Thank you very, very, very much, Bill. Appreciate you. Appreciate everyone who jumped in with us and spoke to us today and came in on the chat. Robert and Sherry, very much appreciate you, and everyone else who was a little bit shy to say hi. But if you're going to come on any of our future shows, please don't feel free to say hi, because we love you. And I just want to say a final thank you to you, Bill.
Thank you.
And
it's so wonderful to be here.
My pleasure. And everyone else who's here, is pleasure as well. And for anyone who would like to find out more about the Love Your Life show, either would like to share your inspiring love story, or you'd like to watch more inspiring love stories, or you know somebody who has an inspiring love story that they'd like to share, feel free to just give us an email. You can do loveyourlifeshow@gmail.com. We also have bevb@beverlybuckley.com. Either one of those, or just hit me up on Facebook. You can just get to Facebook, Love Your Life Show, easy peasy lemon squeezy. And if you're on the YouTube page, please subscribe to the channel, get the videos coming through as they come. Obviously, we love to have you on the live call, but if you're watching the replay for whatever reason, you know, sometimes life happens and we don't get to watch all the things we want to watch. So we do have replays of all of the shows on YouTube. And if you have signed up, you will get access to the replay as well, which you can share with friends if you want to. We do this as a pure giving and loving of our hearts and what we've experienced, and to be able to share and spread more love on the planet. That's what this is about. That's why we're here, is to really be more of the love that we are. And that's what this whole vision of the Love Your Life show is all about, is about sharing inspiring love stories of people who have actually come through it, and who might be able to be that light at the end of the tunnel where you can go, oh, I resonate with what that person says. You know what? I know that they can be able to assist me. And, you know, we're kind of holding hands and reaching out to each other to share what we have to give. And so that's what we want to do. Create a love fest, baby.
Yes. Thank you so much. I love you all.
Thank you, Bill. And we're going to sign off now. And always remember to love your life.